folks, it's Amy from Colorado Mountain Living. We made it through our second round of snow, but amazingly we didn't really get any snow. It probably snowed a couple of inches overnight, that fluffy stuff. And I don't know if you can see right now, it's just doing this really fine snow. And that's what it did all day yesterday. So it was very like a fine dense snow, so it really didn't accumulate a lot in terms of inches. I'm having trouble talking right now because it is actually the coldest day of the year so far. We're clocking in at -9 degrees outside, so it's officially freezing and cold. I would say probably the coldest cold is when you sniff and your snot freezes, your nose sticks together inside. Not quite at that point, that's usually -10. At least up here in the mountains. In the East Coast, you might be able to get away with single digits and have your nose freeze, but usually that's like a -10, -15. Right on the verge with -9, so it's definitely chilly. And you know, something funny is that tomorrow it's supposed to warm up to 40 degrees and sunny, so it's gonna seem like summer, I think, with a 50-degree warm up. I just got done walking Vigo out in the woods, but we only went in like a couple hundred yards and turned around because I think I need more layers on, and I need something on to cover up my face because, boy, it's getting cold out there. But it's supposed to warm up. It's supposed to get up to 12 degrees today, but maybe it's going to warm up overnight. I don't know how it's going to get to 40 degrees tomorrow, but that's what we're expecting. Brian went out last night to plow, to try to get over some of this dry snow, get it off the driveway in case it does start melting and sinking into the driveway tomorrow, because you know, once it does, it's going to be a mud pit because we don't have gravel up here. So that's kind of our issue. We want to get some gravel on before the spring. We just got to wait for that warm up, but it looks like next week is going to be all sunny and like upper 30-40 degree range, so we might be able to get some stuff done if this winter weather goes away and comes back later on, like in January. That'd be fantastic. So we got a taste of early winter here in October. Trying to stay warm. We had the gas stove going most of the night, trying to keep the temperature up inside the house. Definitely toasty in the basement with that radiant heat. If you haven't seen our video on the radiant floor heat, check that one out. We've got full slab, all warm, keeping about 70 degrees down in the basement. So it's actually warmer down there than it is upstairs. It's more like 68 upstairs. So if the sun comes out, we don't need the gas stove. It usually heats up with the solar through the windows, and that usually saves us a lot on heating costs. But we expect those to go up. Over the past few days, I've been running that gas stove pretty constantly with these below zero temperatures. So I got, luckily with my new car, I've got automatic start, remote start, although it didn't really matter this morning since I came outside anyway with the dog, but usually gives the car a good 15-minute chance to warm up inside before I get out on the road there. But not really bad conditions, just the schools are on like an hour delay in the county offices because it's so cold. But you know, I've seen colder. Growing up in Vermont, we used to usually have like a -20 week, below zero for a week or so. A couple years ago, it was like that at Christmas, below zero for an entire week. So yeah, definitely seen colder. I'm sure some of you guys watching in from the further north have been involved in colder weather than -9. So I'm sure we'll see colder this year, but if we don't, that's fine by me. Anyway, stay tuned. Maybe there'll be more weather twists to come, but we survived the cold apocalypse. So when you're cold inside, you spend a lot of time looking out the window, and all this snow got another creature outside active, and I was successful this time on catching a pretty decent video. So this is our neighborhood coyote, and I think he's out in the snow trying to pounce on some mice or something. I don't know, whatever's running underneath the snow, but that white backdrop makes him easy to spot. And boy, it was really fun watching this guy just go running all around the snow, and had to keep Vigo inside because he would go crazy trying to chase this guy down. So yeah, really pretty looking, and this is a lot better video than the last time. You can see how fluffy his tail is. It's like poof, you know, like a big, huge, fat tail. Almost looks like a wolf, except his head is pretty small. You know, he's probably only 50 pounds, 60 pounds, maybe at the most, but not a huge, big animal, but definitely one that makes you look twice. He's not like those skinny ones I seen in North Carolina, but he's got his full winter coat on, and just prowling around in the snow, super cute, and just poking his head around. So really fun to watch. I'm glad that I was able to catch him on camera here, and making those days go by when you're stuck inside because it's so cold out. It's fun to watch other creatures in nature enjoy the outdoors. But I wanted to show you guys something else going on. We've got a map that I purchased for decoration. It's a map of Colorado, so I want to tell you guys about that. All right, guys, so this is the map I was telling you about. It's a topographical map of Colorado, the entire state, showing all of the mountainous regions. And it is published by School Supplies. Whoops, I put these in the wrong order. Whoops. So it's published by James McConnell School Supplies in Denver, Colorado. And it has a copyright date of 1894. So this is obviously a reproduction, a print that I got from a website called Etsy.com, where artists like to put together gifts and handmade gifts and things like that. So this company did the reproduction of the map, and it's just neat because it's got the rivers marked on there, some old roads, some towns. It's just really neat, and I thought it would be a great accent to put on the wall. But I'm wondering how to frame it. So these are really large pieces. This is probably at least 12 inches by 18 inches each square. And, I had the idea of maybe putting each one in a frame, but it might be too many frames. So this is what I'm thinking is instead mounting this all 9 squares onto a piece of plywood and then framing out the plywood and hanging it. So you can kind of see the Continental Divide here right in the middle. And then I put a little red heart right here. This is kind of where we're at. Right there. So you can see we're kind of up in the high up mountains there. This is more of the Front Range area with a little bit more of the rivers, not as many mountains. There's a little bit, when you get further to the east, it gets pretty flat. But yeah, kind of neat. It's the state of Colorado here. But yeah, so really cool. It's a gift I got for Brian many Christmases ago, and been saving it for our move and been saving it so we could hang it in our brand new house. And so here it is. So I don't know if you guys had any other suggestions about mounting it, but I'm pretty much leaning towards the mount each square onto, or each rectangle onto a big piece of plywood, and then frame out the plywood with some nice stained frame. And then I'm thinking about putting it on that wall right now for the moment. But yeah, can't wait to see this one hanging. But we'll keep you posted on how we do in as far as mounting it. So you can see how close we are to Denver. Not too far, but it does take about an hour to get there from our house. We're so close. But it's neat because a lot of the peaks are named. You got all the mountain names on there. So that's pretty cool. Another thing that was surprising to me is how far north we are in the state. Look how big the state is, and look how far north we're living in it. We're way up here in that upper quadrant. So there's a lot more of Colorado I haven't even seen all the way down here. I was able to rescue this map before it got chewed up by the mice. So look at the plastic on the edge, and then just a couple of nibbles right there in the corner. And that was, this was inside of a Tupperware container and everything. So I'm just glad that I remembered to pull it out before it's, stayed in the shed for another year. So, all right, guys, that's our Colorado map. Gonna get that fancied up and hung up in the house. Well, more weather updates, guys. So this week, even though we didn't get all of the snow accumulation that they had predicted, we did get the cold, and now we are getting the winds. You can see, the little weather station there spinning, but look at all the snow blowing across the hill from us. It's hard to determine because the trees aren't moving a lot, but the snow is blowing right off the trees, and the wind is about to pick up even more than that. Overnight, we started getting wind gusts in the upper 30-mile-an-hour range. Trying to catch the trees there, just starting to wave. We're hitting the low, maybe hitting up 20-mile-an-hour gusts at this point during the day, but overnight it went crazy and continued on until the next day. So the winds can be something to reckon with up here. Always something you got to look out for damage. It's usually a big cause of power outages because trees fall and land on lines. You can see the single-digit temperature, 6 degrees, and then a minus 12 wind chill outside because of the wind. It's cold out. It is. Guys, I'm trying to make this video outside and it's so cold I can barely even talk. The wind is whipping, and like I showed you on the weather station, it was a minus 12 wind chill. So it was like trying to make a 30-second clip, and it was taking me forever just to get a sentence spit out. But yeah, it was it was definitely brisk, and probably not the smartest idea to be out there trying to make videos when the weather's cold like that. Up to about 15 degrees today, but now the winds have picked up, as you can tell, and it's probably super windy in the video sound, but we've got some minus 11 degree weather right now outside, so I'm going to get back inside real quick, but I just wanted to give you an update. So basically I'm saying we're not quite out of the woods yet. About to get my camera blown over from the gusts, but yeah, we had to keep our eyes on the effect of the winds because they can produce a lot of drifting snow and cause problems with that. So yeah, I'm about to get back inside here. It's a little bit too much to take. I forgot to put my gloves on. As you can see, I have freezing hands right now. Not too swift. Maybe I can make it look like I'm outside by standing inside with the outside right behind me. So, that was really cold. We got one more night of chilly temperatures. Going to stay warm. Looks like the fireplace already sort of kicked on there. Try to keep the house warm tonight, but it's definitely hard to believe that it's going to be 40 degrees tomorrow and sunny. It's going to, like I said, feel like summertime, but hey, sounds like a great idea to me. I'm welcoming it. 40 degrees and sunny, bring it on. I'll take that. We'll get some more work done. Maybe some of the snow will melt away, or maybe it'll blow away if the winds keep up tonight. In some serious news, we've had some tragedies in the local area. Cold weather always kind of brings out bad weather problems. We had a car go off the interstate and crash into one of the creeks. Actually, it wasn't even the interstate. It was one of the routes down by the casinos. And, someone died in that accident. The car went right into the river. And then another local home got burned to the ground from a house fire. So definitely some scary things that can happen, once... you can kind of blame it on the weather. I'm sure the road conditions were bad and the people trying to stay warm, with fires. I don't know the cause of the house fire, but it's just some things to keep in mind, to be sensitive about that. We're having fun here with Colorado Mountain Living and talking about the weather, but there's definitely some things in the area that are going on that are not so happy and fun. So our heart goes out to those folks that are affected by those tragedies. But anyways, guys, we want to keep you in the loop of this crazy Colorado weather. Looks like it's going to get back to more seasonal starting tomorrow, hopefully, because we got a bonus day of this cold weather. So I'm ready to shed this winter coat and this winter hat and keep up posting you guys about the house progress. Okay, we'll see you next time. Bye-bye.